If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VillageXchange. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Actually, babe, the lyric link is genius. And
that
always adds in that extra.
There's no other lyrics? Okay, what's the name of the song?
No, but that adds in it.
What is the name of the song?
I'm sending you this thing.
Emperor.
And there's the picture. Emperor. And the name of the song is Cosmic Keys to My Creations and Times. Okay. Okay, so while you're getting that, can you throw me the timestamp?
Timestamp is 55:40.
So 56.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty, let's see. This is from the True Cult, whose leader is Neil. Shout out to
Neil. Shout out to the big homie.
Neil has been with us for quite some time. He spends almost every birthday with us, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's check it out. Let's see. With our most recent vote says, well, are they DJs? They're alliance leaders.
Alliance leaders.
With our most recent vote, we decided to have a double feature of a song. To showcase the evolution of the band. Okay. I asked our members to submit a song from a band's earliest material and a song from a band's most recent material to see how much the band's sound changed between releases. I love it when you guys do this. Emperor was a band selected to showcase this evolution. The first song we're featuring is from their debut full-length, The Night Side Eclipse, released in 1994. So this is Emperor, Cosmic Keys to My Creations and Times.
All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Start spreading the news. Y'all don't know that song?
I'm leaving today.
Is that what that is? Yeah, I think that is it. All right, here we go. Cosmic Keys to My Creations and Times. Losers, let's do it. Yes, Mickey! Yes! Background?
Okay. Emperor. This one is cosmic keys to my creations and times. Interesting. You know what it reminded me of? That theory about the UAPs going into the water.
What do you mean?
And
what do you mean by theory? I mean, we have it on camera. On theory. The only theory is how they're doing. How are they achieving transmedium travel?
Yeah.
You know, because that's supposed to deny the laws.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe anything now because of CGI. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's probably,
True.
you know, but
True.
the government could lie to us about the entire thing, and how would we know? I mean,
That's
how
true.
would we know?
That's true. That
Because they've been telling us we're all fools. You know, anybody that believed that or saw it, like, they ruined people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, ruined them. People.
Well, one dude killed
ruined
himself.
families.
One dude killed himself. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And some people just kind of disappeared. So, you know, there's a lot of weird shit going on around that stuff. And then you have, like, now all of a sudden they're coming out and they're saying they've been seeing stuff and it's reported by people in the government or, you know,
I just
and they said it on the Senate floor.
I just bought that new
book.
Louisiana book
Yeah.
we're going to listen to on our walk and shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of really kooky, weird shit going on.
I gotta plug this into
And
the speaker.
one of the things that's odd to me about this whole UAP thing is that our government has been mocking all of us for.
Yeah.
You have so many people. I remember like the first conversation we had about it. Like you mocked me immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you're
I
laughing at
did.
me immediately.
We were walking through Walmart. I remember.
Yes, that's one of like the tactics that gets used in intelligence in order to influence behavior. It worked very well against in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it worked extremely well. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on as far as
It's
like
weird, though. I mean, it's weird.
yeah, like Lou Elizondo, like literally. This is coming out tomorrow, but he says that one of the people that he was interviewing claimed that he had been abducted by one of these aliens and that they put something in his arm, you know, whatever. And then the doctor who took it out of his arm said that the thing was trying to run away from him.
Stop it. Like
So-
on, what's
So
the thing?
it was a machine, but it was wrapped in some sort of bio whatever. And the doctor who was trying to extract it was saying the thing was running, it was displaying intelligence. And, you know, some
You
little
remember-
nanobot.
You remember on, what's that? I can't believe it. The Matrix. Remember they injected him with something
Yes.
and it's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a machine, but it was running.
Yeah,
They kill it.
that's what I'm saying.
They,
Like,
they have to extract it.
yeah,
Pretty
and
disgusting.
this is a really interesting black
Yeah,
metal
it's so weird.
song
It's
because
like-
he's talking about the moon and the stuff. Like he wants more than just the
Yeah.
limitations of being on Earth.
Yep.
I will realize planets ages old, created by a ruler with a crown of dragon claws, arrived with the Stargate, a king among the wolves in the night, an observer of the stars.
Yeah.
So he just wants to get out of, you know, the world he's in and go to another world and experience,
Mm-hmm.
you know, crowns made of dragon claws and things like that, an observer of the stars. You know, people talk about that with the whole, like, what do you call that thing when you go off into space in your mind or whatever? Astral projection or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I still think is just... Ooh.
Then how are people able to go and get answers?
I don't know. I think
And
there's...
how is that different than the person that says, like, I feel like isn't that some people can do that, like, on command, while other people it would take a drug, like, I mean, psilocybin or different types of drugs where it puts them in another place
Mhm.
and they're interacting with beings that... It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't know. I believe people can engage
In the 80-year history of
part.
modern...
Go
Go.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
What kinds of beings are existing at the depths of my lakes? Surely must be an evil race with no friendly thing can live in such depressive waters. This one, okay, so that's the line that made me think about, you know, the UAPs and, you know, the Loch Ness Monster type situation, the, you know, all those sort of question marks that everybody mocked. It kind of makes you start saying, well, yeah, but what is it even so weird about the Loch Ness Monster? It's some big giant thing under the water that's like,
I don't understand why the Loch Ness Monster. I don't understand why Bigfoot is like a myth, and I don't understand why the Loch Ness Monster is a myth. Like we believe in dinosaurs.
What are we talking about?
We all believe in
here?
dinosaurs, right? Alligators were around during that whole period. Like how is that a problem?
I don't know. I did used to think, it was an issue.
What is it like? We know less than 10% of what's going on in the ocean.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody said we know more about the moon than the ocean. So
that's so wild.
And it's really interesting because the whole Tic Tac UFO, the most famous one.
Yeah.
It actually did not start out as a above ground UFO. Actually, what they saw when they looked down was the water was being troubled. And then when they went down to investigate, they saw the Tic Tac floating above the water, but the water was churning like mad. And then when we put his eyes on the Tic Tac device, it basically did one of these numbers, and they just kept, and then it shut off, and it's like, okay. But it originally actually started in the water. Yeah. And somebody was saying that Tic Tac was a distraction
for something
for whatever the hell was going on under the surface of that water.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's true, like because that's the first thing they saw was the water getting troubled. They went down and checked it, and he thought a plane had crashed because like the distance between point A and point B, and this thing is churning like this, was about the size of a plane. And gosh. They go.
That's weird.
He went down like thinking he's going to do some sort of recovery, and then the Tic Tac comes into view, and then he goes to engage it, and it does one of these kinds of things, right? So it's like, okay, bro, okay, like, so yeah, it could be in there, it could have been the entire time that it was an ocean-based type of thing, and then now it's, what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. But then at the same time, if you just read that, it sounds so poetic. And if you think about it, like, as in the depths of my lakes, he's talking about himself.
Right.
And he says, what kinds of beings are existing in the depths of my lakes? They surely must be of an evil race, for no friendly thing can live in such depressive waters.
Right.
And then it becomes like
himself.
something different, and it's just deep and like,
It's interesting.
Very pretty sounding too.
Yeah. When he says beings in the plural in the deeps of his lakes, that's true. Like you could take that literally as like what's going on under there, but you could also
himself. You
could also humanize it, which is why it says no friendly thing can live in such depressive waters. Mm-hmm. But he refers to himself as a plural. What kinds of beings are existing in the depths of my lake? So it's like that came out like a couple of years ago. People were saying they had no internal dialogue, and all of us were like, "What?" I still don't even understand how that works. Like that you can't have that you don't have it. How do you not have an internal dialogue?
The thing is, I'm the type of person where until you prove something to me, it's very difficult for me. You'd think I wouldn't even be a Christian because of that, but
right.
Well, I feel like Christianity's been proved to me though, time and time again. But like when people say stuff like that, I don't know. I can't
say stuff like what?
Well, I can't remember where it's gonna go with that because I got distracted thinking about. It must have been funny for me to say that if something doesn't get proved to me, it's hard for me to believe it. Mm-hmm. You were saying something and I was responding to that, but
all these landscapes are timeless, and this is just all part of the cosmos. But all is mind and past and future.
Oh, the fact that people don't have an internal dialogue.
Right.
I think that's. I can't even believe it. I feel like you're just not focusing on it. It's so hard for you to believe that somebody has no internal dialogue.
I know, it was a big thing. I couldn't believe it. But
especially because for some people, like, your entire life it can be destroyed or very disruptive based on the information or the conversation that's going on inside of your head.
Okay.
So the idea that some people could be conversationless up there, like, I mean, it's just weird.
Uh-huh.
What's up?
Here is also a planet similar to the moon, but its phases are only one, and it's the most powerful for all and ever. There passes no light without the bark of the wolf. It's interesting. Like, there's not a lot of devil stuff in here. Like, this dude is a legendary black metal guy. I love what they did with the synth. The synth was so inspiring.
The vocals behind.
I wish there was more. Like, I'm like straight cheese. Like, we've got a song that we're working on with the big homie Sesso. Shout out to Sesso, and it's like the beautifulest thing in the world. And very, very sugary. A lot of caffeine. A lot of cavities. All these landscapes are time. I just keep going back to that line. Like, he's trying to find some ways to put himself together. He kind of refers to himself in the
I will
plural.
realize I existed before myself.
Mm-hmm. So, like, that's a very interesting way of self-reflection or self-understanding. Is you get to a point where you realize that you never understood yourself. It's kind of a weird thing. Someday I will start to understand English.
Okay, hold on. So the Bible talks about knowing God. Eternal life is to know God.
Yep.
So I've always like wondered, like, did we exist before we existed? But isn't there a sense in which we did? If God is eternal and he was forever around, and if for us eternal life is knowing God, if an eternal God knows you, he doesn't learn something or come up with an idea. So you are forever known by an eternal being.
Right.
So in a sense what? Were you always there?
Always there? Where? Yeah, in the future?
Well, you were always in the mind of God. So it's not like you essentially existed even though you weren't in physical form.
Well, yeah, and obviously when we talk about the mind of God, then we're also talking about the natural world as well. Like, all the natural world reflects the mind of God as well. So I definitely see your point.
But is that heretical? Like, because that almost sounds like, I don't believe we're not eternal. Like, God is eternal because we forever exist because he,
right?
You know, we rely fully on him. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I love Kel. Black metal was never really about worshiping the devil so much as it was hatred toward Christian oppressors and missionaries. Well, I mean, Jesus told us to be missionaries, though.
And Jesus said, what you do to the least of these, you do to me. And he also said, like, when Paul in the Bible was going around, he was killing all the Christians. And Jesus met him on the road when he was going. He said, Paul, why are you persecuting me? Or Saul, he was Saul at the time. Mm-hmm. Saul, why are you persecuting me? Is what Jesus said. So you can't persecute God's people without it being against him. So, like, maybe that's true. Maybe they weren't directly trying to go after God, but that is what happens.
But for me, like, even if they were trying to go after God, that still, in my mind, doesn't necessarily make them anti-God. I just think, like, the way that Christians react to shit, you know, is just, on the one hand, it's hilarious, you know, because all the superstition and all the rest of it. Yeah, there's this book called The Scandal of the Evangelical Mind, and he was just talking about how we're not very good at thinking quietly and deeply and critically about ideas. It's the scandal of the evangelical mind.
Oh, the evangelical mind.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I mean, and the other thing that we've said a bunch of times is, like, I just said that, but on the flip side, as wisdom would have it, I do think that the church in some ways has persecuted, like, for instance, Nergal, when he was saying,
in some ways,
no. Let me just finish. Remember that when he got sick?
Yeah, we got leukemia.
Yeah,
he could have died.
Yeah, and instead of saying, you know, we're gonna pray that, like, God heals you, it was like this.
They should have shut down that whole country to pray and fast for that boy.
Can you imagine?
Because they're, like, hardcore Christian, apparently, in Rome. I mean, in Poland.
Yeah.
They should have said, this guy who's been, you know, disrespecting God might end up meeting him.
Yep.
And we don't want that to happen in the current state he's in. That's what you're supposed to do if religion works. That's what I like about the Bible boogies. Like, we don't have everything down. Nobody's perfect. We got Buddhists in there, we got atheists in there, and we're all trying to, like, band together and apply the lessons that we learned in the week, you know? Yeah. Peter, I'm not gonna share it because what happens if Boogie stays in the boogie, but, like,
I was like, don't chill.
But I'm like, okay, like, this is the way it's supposed to be done. Mm-hmm. And then they had that little chat on the side, and it was this Canadian family, and they had this homeless guy just move in with them, and then his girlfriend moved in with them, and he was like, why are you doing this? Because his canoe was broken. And so he had to stay there until he got it fixed. It was like a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. No charge. She was washing his dishes, all type of craziness. And he's just like, why did you do this for me? You know? And so that was posted because everybody's like, oh, image of God, you know, like, so it's fun. Like, it's crazy. But on the other side, like, we really fucked people up in the 80s over this shit, bro. Like, I'm talking about evangelical Christians. I'm not even talking about Catholics. I'm not talking about our team specifically. The whole panic. What do you call it? The satanic panic and all the rest of it. Like, definitely there were some, you know, Christians of every form and stripe, but the main driver of that mythology and that craziness and that horrible that was evangelical was us. And they didn't just, like, make life hard for teenagers. Like, these people's lives were ruined or paraded in front of the camera, all type of shit. This was before Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
So I know, like, people, Jets generation, but like, it's very odd to see yourself on television. It's very strange to see yourself on TV if you didn't grow up in an environment like this. But people are so used to getting videotaped now that they don't see like the thing. But like, that is a massive thing to end up on, you know what I'm saying, having all your business out there. Well, there's no question that the church has taken that concept, go be fishers of men, a bit too far at times in history. Yeah, they took that shit literally, because when you go fishing, you're going fishing to devour them.
Look at it there.
Right? Oh. So they took that one. I completely agree with you. Hell. And look, I'm never going to be against my people. I love my people. Like, evangelicals, that's our team. But the facts are the facts. I just like this song, though, because, like, I also have I think a lot of us, I was watching Brianna Joy Gray, I think is her name. And they were talking about this UFO disclosure stuff. And she said something really instructive, because she was like, they were talking about we don't have any proof, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'd like to see one of these aliens and jump on their ship with them. Like, if they invited me to go, I would go. Because shit is just so fucked up in the world right now. Like, we got Ukrainian friend. Like, honestly, like, I don't talk about the Ukraine situation a lot. Because it kills me to think that these people have almost literally the exact same DNA. Same great-grandparents, all type of shit. And they're out here wholesale massacring each other in this bitch. Like, that kills me. That's hard for me to think about. Because,
it's
you
like
know, just how important family is, you know? And like, look, everybody understood the position I took relative to the Ukraine situation. But it's like, damn, man, like, them civilians, if you're a praying person, man, we gotta pray for some relief for these people, bro. It just sucks because it's like anyway, I'm gonna get, this song, I gotta say, this song dragged out a little bit for me. I loved the synth in the back. I want to steal that. Sonically, it's interesting. Like, vocally, to me, I forgot who said it. I think it was Ben that said it. But to me, it was kind of just like a monotonous, you know what I'm saying? Dwayne was saying that too. Like, I'm okay with like screamo or whatever, but I don't know. It is a little too much, a little over the top. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I liked the background vocals with like, it sounded like female vocals that were sort of like rising. It sort of gave it some depth. I also liked even the you call it the tremolo. I liked that too. But I agree with you that the vocal style, like, I can't throw in with that vocal style. There are some parts in it, like there are very few parts. There are some parts that I like, but they're so few and far between. I don't know if this is an acquired taste or if this is like, you're never gonna, you know, some people are never gonna like country music, and especially like the twangy country music, and I just don't know if I'm ever gonna really like that style of vocal style. But we're about to listen to a second song by them, which is The Tongue of Fire, and this is where they are now. So,
hold on.
I'm curious to see. Well, let me finish. I'm curious to see what will happen, whether I like the vocals, if his vocal style evolves into something that, you know, we can like more, or if it pretty much stays the same. So I'm very curious about that. So you're watching something before we rate it?
Okay, so I'm gonna rate this. Solid 9.2. What did you give it?
Wow, that's pretty high. I think I'm gonna give this one a 8.9. 9. I'll give it a 9.
Okay, guys.
Solid 9.
Don't be mad at me, but Kamala Harris is speaking right now. Dwayne told us to watch it, so I'm gonna put Kamala on. Okay, it doesn't look like she's currently speaking right now. So we'll try again if but I gave Shorty her respect. I thought she was there, but she wasn't there, so you can't say I'm biased, everybody.